After 70, let people miss out on you? Here's why. As we age, especially after reaching 70, life takes on new meaning. It becomes a time to reflect, savor simplicity, and focus on what truly matters. But for many of us, there's still a lingering challenge. How do we handle relationships that no longer serve us? How do we gracefully step back from people or situations that bring more stress than joy? The answer may surprise you. Sometimes it's okay, necessary even, to let people miss out on you. Let's explore why this shift in perspective is essential, how it can bring peace, and why it's never too late to embrace this liberating mindset. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Your time is precious. Treasure it. At 70 and beyond, time takes on a sacred quality. It's no longer something to be spent recklessly or handed out to anyone who demands it. Instead, time becomes a gift, one that must be cherished, protected, and shared only with those who truly value it. The realization that our moments are finite isn't a source of fear. It's a source of clarity. It sharpens our awareness of what matters and invites us to live more intentionally than ever before. In this season of life, treasuring your time means learning to say no to anything or anyone that doesn't align with your peace. It's about recognizing that your energy is as valuable as the years you've lived, and it deserves to be invested in joy, love, and meaning. How many hours have we given to people who didn't appreciate them? How many days have we spent trying to meet others' expectations at the expense of our own happiness? Now is the time to stop and reflect. Your presence is not something to be taken for granted. Every moment you spend with someone is a piece of your life you're sharing, a part of your legacy you're offering. It's a precious exchange, and not everyone deserves it. Treasuring your time doesn't mean closing yourself off or isolating from the world. It means being discerning, choosing relationships and activities that nourish your spirit rather than depleting it. Imagine a garden filled with vibrant flowers. That's what your life can become when you tend to it with care, watering the relationships that bring beauty and weeding out the ones that choke your growth, the friendships that uplift you, the quiet mornings that bring peace, the laughter shared with people who truly care. These are the moments worth treasuring. By choosing to honor your time, you're honoring yourself. You're making a statement that your life, your experiences, and your presence have immense value. This isn't selfishness, it's wisdom. And it's a wisdom that allows you to live fully and authentically in every moment you have. 2. Boundaries are the cornerstone of healthy relationships. Boundaries are not barriers, they are invitations for respect. They define how we engage with the world and teach others how to treat us. At 70 and beyond, boundaries are no longer optional. They are essential. They protect our peace, honor our time, and allow us to live in alignment with the wisdom we've gained over the years. Setting boundaries can feel daunting, especially if it's something you've avoided in the past. For much of our lives, we may have sacrificed our own needs to keep the peace, to avoid conflict, or to make others happy. But as we grow older, it becomes clear that these sacrifices often come at a great cost to our health, our happiness, and even our identity. Boundaries are the antidote to that cost. They are the line we draw to say, this is what I need, this is what I will accept, this is what I deserve. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect, and boundaries are the foundation of that respect. When you set a boundary, you're not rejecting someone, you're inviting them to meet you on terms that honor both of you. A boundary might look like saying no to a family member who only calls to complain, or limiting time with a friend who constantly drains your energy. It could mean choosing not to engage in negative conversations or deciding to take more time for yourself without guilt. Whatever form it takes, a boundary is a declaration of self-respect. Of course, Setting boundaries isn't always easy. It can stir up feelings of guilt or fear of rejection. But those who truly value you will respect your boundaries, even if it takes time for them to adjust. And those who resist or dismiss your boundaries, they are showing you something important about the relationship. While it might be painful to face, recognizing this truth allows you to prioritize the relationships that genuinely matter. Boundaries are acts of love, not just for yourself, but for others as well. They create clarity, reduce resentment, and pave the way for healthier, more authentic connections. They remind us that love doesn't mean losing ourselves for the sake of someone else. It means standing firm in who we are and allowing others to do the same. At this stage in life, you've earned the right to live unapologetically. You've carried decades of wisdom, endured challenges, and celebrated triumphs. Boundaries are a reflection of that wisdom. They allow you to show up fully in the relationships that matter and step back from the ones that don't. And in doing so, you create space for the kind of life and the kind of love that honors the remarkable person you've become. 3. Letting go isn't easy, but it's worth it. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve us is one of life's hardest lessons, and it doesn't get easier with age. By the time we reach 70, the connections we've made, whether with friends, family, or colleagues, have woven themselves into the story of our lives. To let go of someone, even when it's necessary, can feel like tearing a chapter from that story. It stirs up a complex mix of emotions, sadness, guilt, regret, and perhaps even fear. Yet, despite the difficulty, there's a profound truth to be embraced. Letting go is not the end of a story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with clarity, peace, and freedom. Letting go isn't about erasing the past. It's not about pretending the good times didn't happen or denying the love you once shared. It's about acknowledging the reality of the present. People change, and so do relationships. What may have brought joy and connection in one season of life can sometimes become a source of tension or pain in another. This is not a failure. It's simply the natural ebb and flow of human connection. But knowing this doesn't make it easy. Letting go requires courage. The courage to face the discomfort of change and to prioritize your well-being over the expectations of others. It also demands trust that by releasing what no longer aligns with your journey, you're making space for something better. This better might be peace, solitude, or even new relationships that uplift and inspire you. Whatever it is, you can't reach it if your hands are still clinging to what no longer serves you. In letting go, there's also a profound act of self-respect. It's a way of saying to yourself, I deserve relationships that bring me joy, not stress. I deserve to feel loved and appreciated, not criticized or drained. At 70, you've earned the right to make choices that honor your inner peace, the life you've built, the wisdom you've gained, and the experiences you've weathered have given you the clarity to see what matters most. And what matters most is your happiness and fulfillment. Sometimes letting go means walking away entirely. Other times, it means redefining the relationship, choosing less interaction, creating stronger boundaries, or shifting expectations. Whatever form it takes, letting go is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of kindness toward yourself, and often toward the other person as well. When a relationship is no longer healthy, both people suffer. By stepping back, you give each of you the chance to heal and grow, even if that growth happens apart. 4. Toxic relationships drain your energy. As we age, our energy becomes more precious. It's not just about physical stamina, it's about emotional energy, the mental and spiritual reserves that keep us grounded and content. Toxic relationships, those marked by negativity, manipulation, or disregard, can drain that energy faster than we realize, leaving us feeling depleted and unbalanced. Recognizing and releasing these relationships isn't just an option, it's a necessity for living fully and authentically in this stage of life. Toxicity can show up in many forms. It might be the friend who only calls to complain but never listens when you speak. It might be a family member who criticizes your choices, or a neighbor who thrives on gossip and drama. These interactions, though they may seem small at first, add up over time. They weigh on your heart, cloud your mind, and even impact your physical health. The stress of enduring toxic relationships can manifest in sleepless nights, heightened anxiety, or a sense of heaviness that's hard to shake. Yet, recognizing toxicity is only the first step. The harder part is deciding to step away from it. Many of us hold on to relationships out of a sense of obligation. We tell ourselves, I've known them for so long, or they're family, I can't just walk away. But here's the truth. No matter how long you've known someone or how they're connected to you, no one has the right to drain your joy or diminish your self-worth. Relationships should be sources of support and mutual respect, not constant stress or disappointment. Stepping away from toxic relationships is not about judgment or blame. It's not about declaring someone unworthy or unforgivable. Instead, it's about recognizing what you need to thrive and being brave enough to pursue it. It's about saying, I choose peace over conflict. I choose love over resentment. I choose myself. Letting go of toxicity can be liberating. Imagine waking up without the dread of a difficult conversation or the weight of unresolved tension. Imagine spending your days with people who uplift you, who listen with compassion, and who celebrate your presence. This is not a fantasy. It's a reality you can create by making intentional choices about who you allow into your life. And while the process may feel lonely at times, it's important to remember that loneliness is often temporary. When you release toxic relationships, you create space for healthier connections, for deeper friendships, and for a renewed sense of self. You also set an example for others, showing that it's never too late to prioritize your well-being and that boundaries are a form of love, not rejection. At 70, you've seen enough of life to know what matters most. You know the value of a kind word, a warm smile, a listening ear. You've earned the right to surround yourself with people who bring light into your days, not those who cast shadows. So, if a relationship drains your energy, clouds your joy, or leaves you doubting your worth, it's okay to step away. It's not just okay, it's necessary. By letting go of toxicity, you're not just reclaiming your energy, you're reclaiming your life. And there's no greater gift you can give yourself in this precious season. 5. Growth happens in solitude. As we age, solitude takes on a new character. It's no longer the absence of others. It becomes the presence of ourselves. In our 70s and beyond, moments of solitude are not just opportunities to rest, they're invitations to grow. When we allow ourselves the space to be alone, free from the noise of unnecessary obligations or draining relationships, something extraordinary happens. We reconnect with our essence. We remember who we are beyond the roles we've played and the expectations we've carried. Solitude is not loneliness. It's a space where reflection and clarity thrive. It's where we can hear the quiet wisdom that life has been whispering to us all along. In solitude, we finally have the time to ask ourselves meaningful questions. What do I want in this chapter of my life? What truly brings me joy? What have I been holding on to that no longer serves me? The answers to these questions are often buried beneath years of busyness, but solitude allows them to rise to the surface. This growth isn't about achieving something external. It's about becoming more in tune with yourself. It's about finding peace in your own company and realizing that you are enough. In the stillness, you discover that life doesn't need to be filled with constant noise or activity to be meaningful. Sometimes, the quietest moments are the most profound. By embracing solitude, You also create space for something new. Letting go of relationships or commitments that no longer serve you may leave a temporary void, but that emptiness isn't something to fear. It's something to cherish. It's a blank canvas waiting for you to paint it with the colors of your choosing. Perhaps it's the chance to deepen a connection with an old friend, discover a new passion, or simply sit in the warmth of a peaceful afternoon without guilt or obligation. Solitude, when embraced, becomes a gift. It allows you to realign with your values, rediscover your strengths, and prepare yourself for the connections that truly matter. It's not a retreat from life, it's a journey inward where the seeds of growth are waiting to bloom. 6. Letting others miss out isn't cruel, it's loving. Letting others miss out on you is one of the most misunderstood acts of love. To some, it may seem like rejection, but in truth, it's an act of profound kindness for both yourself and the other person. By stepping back from a relationship that has become unhealthy, draining, or misaligned, you're offering both parties the chance to breathe, reflect, and grow. It's easy to carry guilt when you decide to let someone miss out on you, especially if it's a relationship that has deep history or involves family. You might think, what if they think I don't care? What if they feel abandoned? But letting someone miss out on you doesn't mean you stop caring about them. It means you care enough to step back, to no longer perpetuate a dynamic that harms rather than heals. Sometimes, the most loving thing we can do is to give people the space they need to reflect on their own actions and choices. This act of love isn't just for them, it's for you too. It's a way of saying, I deserve relationships that honor who I am. It's a declaration that your peace, your happiness, and your sense of self are worth protecting. And it's a recognition that love cannot thrive in an environment where respect and understanding are absent. By letting others miss out, you also offer them an opportunity. People often don't realize what they have until it's gone. Sometimes, the absence of your presence is what's needed for someone to truly value you. And if they don't come to that realization, that's okay too. Their inability to see your worth doesn't diminish it. It simply means you're making space for those who will. Letting others miss out on you is not about anger, resentment, or revenge. It's about choosing love, the kind of love that starts with yourself and extends outward in a way that's honest and healthy. It's about stepping into a space where relationships are mutual, respectful, and uplifting. And it's about trusting that those who are meant to be in your life will find their way back to you when the time and circumstances are right. 7. The joy of authentic relationships. In our later years, relationships take on a new depth. We no longer have the energy or desire for superficial connections. What we crave is authenticity. Authentic relationships are the ones that make us feel seen, heard, and valued for who we truly are, not for what we can do or give, but for the simple beauty of our presence. An authentic relationship doesn't require constant effort to maintain. It's not built on obligations or guilt. Instead, it thrives on mutual respect, kindness, and understanding. These relationships are the ones where silence is comfortable, laughter is abundant, and support flows freely. They remind us of the joy that comes from being in the company of someone who truly gets us. But to cultivate authentic relationships, we must first let go of the ones that aren't. It's a necessary pruning, like trimming a tree to make room for new growth. This can feel daunting, especially if you've spent years maintaining connections out of habit rather than joy. Yet, as you step away from relationships that no longer serve you, you'll find that the ones worth keeping become even more vibrant. Authenticity also starts with you. When you live in alignment with your values and honor your own needs, you naturally attract people who appreciate your authenticity. These are the individuals who see your worth, respect your boundaries, and cherish your presence. They don't drain your energy, They replenish it. They don't criticize or judge, they accept and encourage. And they don't take you for granted. They celebrate the gift of your time and attention. The joy of authentic relationships lies in their simplicity. They don't demand, they invite. They don't exhaust, they energize. And they don't fill your life with noise, they fill it with meaning. At 70 and beyond, these are the connections that matter most. They're the ones that make this chapter of life not just bearable, but beautiful. So let yourself embrace authenticity. Let yourself seek out the people who bring light into your days and peace into your heart. And most importantly, let yourself be that light and peace for others. Authentic relationships are a mutual exchange of love, respect, and joy, and they are worth every bit of the space you create to welcome them into your life. 8. Choose peace over chaos. At 70 and beyond, life whispers to us in ways it didn't before. It tells us that peace is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. The chaos we once endured, the unnecessary battles we fought, and the energy spent trying to fix what wasn't ours to fix, it all feels like a weight we no longer need to carry. Peace is the reward of a life lived with resilience and courage, and it's something we've more than earned. Choosing peace over chaos doesn't mean avoiding every challenge or turning away from life's complexities. It means recognizing when a relationship, a situation, or even a mindset disrupts your inner harmony and gently stepping away from it. It's understanding that not every argument needs your participation and not every conflict needs your resolution. Sometimes walking away is the most powerful act of wisdom and strength. There's beauty in realizing that you don't have to please everyone. You don't have to explain your decisions or justify your choices to those who don't understand. You are no longer obligated to be everything for everyone. The weight of those expectations can finally be lifted, replaced by the quiet assurance that your life belongs to you. When you choose peace, you invite calmness into your days. It's in the way you sip your morning coffee without rushing, the way you say no without guilt, and the way you prioritize your well-being without hesitation. Peace becomes a rhythm, a way of living that honors your journey and celebrates the simplicity of being present in the moment. 9. Your worth doesn't diminish with age. As the years pass, society sometimes sends the insidious message that aging diminishes our worth. This couldn't be further from the truth. Your worth is not tied to your productivity, your youth, or how others perceive you. It is inherent, unchanging, and deeply rooted in who you are. In fact, your worth grows richer with age as it is woven from the wisdom, experiences, and love you've carried through the decades. Think about the countless lives you've touched, the kindnesses you've extended, the lessons you've shared, the laughter you've sparked. These things cannot be measured, yet they define the beauty of your legacy. Your worth is not in question because it's not something anyone else has the power to diminish. It's yours, and it has always been enough. Age also brings a perspective that younger generations often lack. You've lived through moments that taught you resilience, through trials that shaped your character, and through joys that illuminated what truly matters. That perspective is a gift, not just to yourself, but to those who have the privilege of knowing you. The stories you share, the advice you offer, and even the quiet example of how you live your life are invaluable. When you let others miss out on you, it's not an act of arrogance, it's an affirmation of your self-worth. It's a reminder that you are not defined by how others see you, but by how you see yourself. You deserve to be surrounded by people who recognize your value, respect your boundaries, and cherish your presence. Those who fail to do so are not rejecting you. They are simply revealing their inability to appreciate something extraordinary. 10. The right people will stay. One of life's greatest truths, and perhaps one of its most comforting, is that the right people will always find their way back to you. Relationships built on genuine love, respect, and understanding are resilient. They may bend under the pressures of time, distance, or disagreement, but they do not break. The people who truly care for you, the ones who see your heart and value your presence, will remain. At this stage of life, the bonds that remain are often the strongest, forged through shared experiences and tested by the passing years. But even now, some relationships may fade, not because of malice or neglect, but because life moves people in different directions. Letting go of those connections doesn't diminish their importance in your journey. It simply acknowledges that their season in your life has come to an end. When you create boundaries and let others miss out on you, it may surprise you to see who steps forward and who drifts away. Some will recognize the gift of your presence and make an effort to stay in your life, valuing the time and energy you offer. Others may choose not to, and that's okay. Their decision is not a reflection of your worth, but of their own priorities. The beauty of this realization is the freedom it brings. You no longer have to chase relationships or prove your value. The right people, those who genuinely care for you, will stay. They will respect your boundaries, honor your needs, and celebrate the person you are. And those who don't, their departure is not your loss. It's an opportunity for growth and space for new connections that better align with your life. In this chapter of your life, surround yourself with those who uplift you, who bring joy and peace into your days, and who see you for the treasure you are. Letting people miss out on you is not about closing doors. It's about keeping them open for the right people to walk through. And when they do, you'll find that the relationships you've nurtured are deeper, more meaningful, and more fulfilling than ever before. Final thoughts. Embrace this chapter. Life after 70 is a time to focus on joy, peace, and authenticity. Letting people miss out on you isn't about cutting ties out of spite. It's about choosing yourself, your well-being, and your happiness. Remember, you are a gift to the world. By valuing yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. The right people will cherish your presence, and those who don't will fade away, making space for the relationships that truly matter. So take that step. Set those boundaries and let people miss out on you because you deserve a life filled with love, respect, and peace. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.